Amy, will you hit the record? Or would you like me to?
Okay, welcome everyone to this free Zoom. How to 5 easy ways to create money for Access classes with total ease. Okay, my name is Amy Shine. I'm an Access Consciousness facilitator. I've been facilitating Access classes and taking Access classes for over 10 years now. I actually found Access when I was living in Ireland. I was just out of college. I had no money. I was totally broke. I didn't even have a job. And I created going to all the classes I desired using the tools of Access. So this Zoom is to really just share the tools that I used in creating the money for classes. And really, it's a lot easier than we make it. So one second, guys, I just need to do this for a second. Okay, so this is these are the tools of Access Consciousness. If you've never heard of Access Consciousness, go to accessconsciousness.com. So we're looking at, okay, if you're looking at choosing a class, so it could be any class, it could be a class with Access, it could be a class like a yoga retreat, anything where you're choosing to become greater. Anywhere you're choosing something to become greater, a lot of times, a lot of limitations come up in our world to stop us. So I'm going to give you 5, what I would say 5 key points I use in choosing classes and going beyond using money to stop me. Number 1, I have to say that I have never had the money before I chose a class. Before I choose a class, I have to, it's never, for me, I never have the money. I have to choose first. So number 1, choice comes first. Most people think they need to wait until they have the money to choose, but it's actually the opposite way around. You choose, and then what gets created from your choice invites the money into your life. So what are you waiting to choose because you've decided you need the money first? Everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, papak, only shirts, boys, poveds, and means. So that's the Access Consciousness clearing statement. So that's going to start clearing the places where you are limiting yourself, where you're going unconscious, and where you're not allowing yourself to go beyond your limitations. So at the beginning, I didn't know anything about the clearing statement. I didn't even know the words, but I just used pod and pock, or pock and pod. So I'd walk through the world, and when I'd find myself judging myself, I would just pock and pod myself. And it started to get me out of heaviness in my world and started to make me lighter. So when you look at choosing a class or choosing something that's going to create greater for you, how often do you look at the price, look at the money, and then you don't allow yourself to choose because you've already decided that you can't afford it? The minute you've decided I can't afford it, you've separated yourself from that choice, and you have separated yourself from the universe and from the contribution the universe can be to you. So everywhere you've already decided you can't have the class you'd like to have, you can't ever create the money for it. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, papak, only shirts, boys, poveds, and means. So choice first, then comes creation, then comes the money. So if you didn't make it about the money, and if you actually looked, okay, first things first, am I actually choosing this class? And we're going to use the example of classes here. So are you actually choosing the class, or are you saying you want to choose it and then hoping and wishing the money will show up? So when you are really choosing it, there's an energy you're being where you know you're willing and you're going to do whatever it takes to have that. When you're not really choosing it, you're just kind of saying you're choosing it, it becomes this kind of like wishy-washy, like, oh, if the money shows up, I'll do the class. But if you're already coming from that energy, somewhere you've already decided you're not going to have it. So everything that is, everywhere you're hoping and wishing for the money to show up, when you've already decided it won't show up, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, on your shorts, boys, poveds, and meons. So you have to get really honest with yourself. Like there's been times in my life where I would say, okay, yeah, I'd like to go to that class, but really I wasn't really choosing it. And I know from experience and time now, there's a different energy when I'm really choosing it and when I'm just kind of saying I'd like to go. When I'm truly choosing something, I am 100% all in. All my energy is in. And when you're 100% all in, then the universe is like, oh, she's all in, let's go. The universe can contribute to you when you're all in. But if you're half in, half out, half hoping, half wishing, can the universe actually contribute to you? So, are you truly choosing the class, or are you just saying you are? So get the energy of what it's like when you truly choose something and know what that energy is for you. And then get the energy of when you are saying you'd like to choose something, but you're not really choosing it. You're not really in it. And then get honest with yourself. Get honest with yourself. So instead of making it about the money, and instead of creating a money problem to prove you can't choose, get honest with yourself and say, okay, I'm actually just not choosing that. It's not about the money. I'm just not choosing it. So everything that is, and all the judgments you have of you for what you say you'd like to choose that you're not choosing, can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, papa, only shorts, boys, poveds, and meons. And a very wise man once said to me a long time ago, not choosing is also choice. So everywhere you make choosing access classes right and not choosing access classes wrong, oh, can we destroy and uncreate all that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, papa, only shorts, boys, poveds, and meons. Choice is just choice. It's not right. It's not wrong. Okay, so that's number one. Choose first. Get honest with yourself. Are you really choosing it? Don't make it about the money. Get clear. Am I all in with this, or am I just kind of saying I'm choosing it and just seeing what shows up? Right, number two. So number two is make the demand of yourself and request of the universe. So demand of me, request of the universe. Most people do it the other way around. They demand of the universe and then they request of themselves. But it doesn't work like that. If, like I said, if you're not 100% all in, the universe is not going to be all in with you. So you got to demand of you first. If you are wishy-washy with you and just hoping the money will show up, then you're not fully in it and the universe can't actually contribute to you. So when you are choosing and really choosing something, you demand of yourself. The demand of yourself, a lot of people are like, what does it mean to demand of me? To demand of me is to be willing to do whatever it takes, whatever I have to lose, whatever I have to gain on having this. It's like being that like bulldozer, not with like a fight, but with a, I'm having this. And so for some of you, and I know this was like this for me at the beginning of my journey with Access, there were some classes that I really had to demand to be there. There was going to be a change that would show up for me in those classes that I required. But before those classes, everything in my world came up to stop me. And that actually happened to me for my first bars class. Before my first bars class, everything in my world tried to stop me. Everything in my mind tried to stop me. It was almost like a psychic attack. And I didn't listen to it. I followed what was true for me. I followed my knowing, thank God. And what I got out of that first bars class was so life-changing. It changed the trajectory of my future. So it's interesting to see that the classes that created the most change for me, how much limitations I had come up before them to stop me. So I had to demand something greater for me and not let any limitations, any heaviness, any of the insanity of my mind stop me. So that's that demand of you. So when you're choosing greater in your world, in your life, things will come up to stop you. Limitations will come up in your world. But if you have that demand of yourself, no matter what it takes, no matter what I have to lose, no matter what I have to gain on having this, you won't let those limitations stop you. You'll have that bulldozer energy. You'll be willing to go regardless of anything that tries to stop you, including you. So demand of yourself, and then request of the universe. And then the universe can be like, oh, she's in. She's congruent to what she's asking for, or he, and then the universe can support you in your ask. So demand of yourself, request of the universe. Then the demand of yourself and request of the universe also requires you to actually take action. So someone recently, actually today, said to me, oh, I signed up for foundation. And someone had told me, you know, if I sign up for foundation, I register, which also, by the way, tip number 1, always register for the class. If you're really choosing the class, register, because that does let the universe know you're choosing it. That does also reinforce your choice that you're choosing it. So register, even if you don't have the money. Great thing about access classes is you can register without having the money. It also sets this energy for your future, where even if you don't end up getting to that class, you know you're going to have it in the future. Like, I don't know how many 7 days with Access Consciousness I signed up for in CF classes. I think it was more 7 days I signed up for before I actually really chose a 7-day and created the money for it. But at least when you sign up for it, you'll get more awareness, you'll get more information. So this person was talking to me today, and she said, oh, I thought someone told me if I signed up for the class and registered, then I just trust that the universe provides. And I was like, okay, that's part of it. And then there's also your part in it. You can't just be like, okay, I signed up, now universe is going to drop the money into my lap. Like, no, you also have to take action. So if I'm choosing something and I know the class is going to be $2,000 or whatever it is, okay, then it's like demand of myself. What can I create today to increase my income right away? What revenue streams can I create? Even another great question is, what revenue stream can support me choosing this class? How many more clients would I have to support me choosing this class? How many products, how much sales, like how can I increase my revenue streams to support my choice to choose something else in my life? So that actually requires you to get to work, to take action. So make the demand of you, and then you take action with that demand. And then when you're taking action, the universe is like, oh, let me support your choice. And then what starts showing up is maybe you have extra clients show up. Maybe you get, like, I know people who get, like, you know, unexpected tax returns, or different things show up for different people. But if you don't have a conclusion of how the money shows up, and if you stay in question of, okay, what can I create? What can I choose today that would increase my revenue streams right away? And what I've found is every time I make a choice to choose an access class, and it's a sum of money that's beyond my comfort zone, my life gets an upgrade. My business gets an upgrade. everything in my life becomes greater on my journey towards creating the money towards the class. So the class starts facilitating me before the class. So, are you willing to demand of yourself, request of the universe, take action, and then allow the universe to support you? Everything doesn't allow that. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, papak, only shorts, boys, poveds, and meons. So let's look at this little piece, not little, big piece around allow the universe to support you. See, some of us will be like, have the expectation the universe will just provide everything for us. We need to do nothing. And then some of us will have the expectation we need to do everything by ourselves alone, and we won't even allow the universe to support us. What if it wasn't about the universe doing it for you? And what if it also wasn't about you doing it alone? So this is where you demand of yourself, request of the universe, you take action, you get busy creating your life, and then you also allow the universe to support you. So years ago, my first bars facilitator, which was Rachael O'Brien, some of you know her, said to me, you know, Amy, wouldn't consciousness want you to become more conscious? Like, wouldn't the universe want you to become more conscious? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, look around the world. There's so much in consciousness here. Of course, the universe wants us all to become more conscious. So for what reason would the universe not support you in being in access classes if you're becoming more conscious? And I was like, wow, actually, yeah, the universe will support me. So I actually know that when I am really choosing something and I'm 100% in, the universe will support me in that. So would you be willing to know that the universe does desire you to become more conscious and will support you? And will you allow the universe to support you? Wow, and everything doesn't allow that. Everything, all the big five you're using, that's an access clearing, which you find out more about in the foundation class, but don't worry about it today, just roll with it. All the big five you're using to not allow the universe to support your choices for greater, can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, papak, only shirts, boys, poveds, meons. Would you be willing to submit to consciousness and allow consciousness to support you? Consciousness will always support you when you're choosing more consciousness. Now, how does the universe support you? Well, the universe supports you through people. So if you want to allow the universe to support you, you're also going to have to allow yourself to receive from other people. The universe shows up in people. So will you allow yourself to receive more? Receive people contributing to you. Receive more clients showing up for you. Receiving your revenue streams expanding. Receiving people in your life supporting you. What if you weren't alone and you didn't have to do it alone anymore? Well, everything doesn't allow that. Can we just try and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, babak, only shirts, boys, poveds, and meons. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a bunch of people screaming outside my apartment. Right after I said allow people to contribute to you. So, okay, that's number 2. The request of the universe, demand of yourself, allow the universe to support you, get to work, take action. Okay, so number 3, allow your body and allow your choice to facilitate you. So how can your body contribute to you in the creation of the money for this class, in creating you being at this class? Your body is incredible. Your body also wants consciousness. Your body also loves to be in classes, receiving body work, receiving consciousness, receiving clearings. So does your being. So your being and body both desire it. Will you allow your body to make you money? Will you allow your body to show you the way? So how can your body facilitate you? And will you listen to your body and not to your mind? See, your mind is a calculated, limited system designed to control you. Everything in your mind is a lie. So I know when I'm choosing greater and my head is trying to stop me, that is all artificial intelligence. That is all a lie. That is all the matrix of this reality. And I can listen to that, or I can ignore that and listen to the whispers of the universe, the whispers of possibilities, and the whispers of my body. And your body is more conscious than you are. And if you allow your body to show you, it will lead and it will show you the way. So will you allow your body to lead? Will you listen to your body? And you can ask body, show me how we can create more money. Show me how we can choose more. Show me the way. There was one other piece with that, but it's gone now. So maybe it'll come back to me. So how can your body pull in money? How can your body pull in more revenue streams? How can your body make you money? And if any of you actually are like very new to Access, or even haven't had any other access, getting your bars run, Access Bars, is the first class of Access Consciousness. I just mentioned it earlier. It was the first class that really changed my world. That getting your bars run is the beginning of you learning to receive again. So if you have a lot of stuff coming up about receiving, not allowing people to contribute to you, get your bars run. Get your bars run more. And you can even have someone run your bars and talk about the stuff that's coming up for you. This is also a way of your body getting conscious when you get your bars run. So getting your bars run teaches you how to receive. Okay, number 4. Allow the universe in. Okay, so allow the universe in and also let go of control. So many of us, when we're choosing something, we go into this control where we have to figure it out. We have to decide how it's going to show up, the way it's going to show up. We also, when I say let the universe in, let the universe rearrange things for you. So when you go to choose something greater, especially if it's an access class, you'll have all these things come up. For a lot of you, it'll be money. I can't go because of the money. And you'll use money to stop you. Then if you start creating the money, you'll come up with another excuse. You'll say, okay, I don't really have the time. Or you'll say like, oh, I can't really, because of my husband or because of my kids. So you'll start using all these things to stop you. So that again is a great way of you, controlling your life. So you never become greater. So you always stay in your small, limited world. Everything that is times a gazillion can be destroyed and created. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, only shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. So if you didn't have to control you didn't have to control your life. If you could allow yourself to be out of control, what if you could allow the universe to rearrange everything for you? So there's been times in my life where I've wanted to choose an access class and where I knew I was using time, money, relationship to stop me. And what I would do is I kind of just get really present and really vulnerable with me and then with the universe, and have a conversation with the universe and be like, okay, universe, I know I'm limiting myself right now. I know I'm trying to stop myself. So I'm going to surrender. I'm going to submit to consciousness. I'm going to allow you in. I'm going to not listen to my head, not listen to the limitations in my mind. And if it creates greater for me to be here, if it creates greater for me to go to this class, if it creates more consciousness on the planet, will you please rearrange everything so I can be there with ease? And then allow the universe in. Let go of control. Let go of being fixated on the outcome. Let go of your need. Get busy creating your life. Don't get fixated on, needing to get the money. Just keep going, keep creating your life, and then allow the universe to rearrange things. Miracles and magic happens when you allow the universe to rearrange things for you. What if it could be that easy? Oh, and everything you're using to not allow it to be such ease, joy, and glory for you, can we destroy and upgrade it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, papa, only shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. Okay, so if you have a point of view that it's too much money for this class, then you will not allow yourself to have that money for the class or for anything else. You will not allow yourself to go beyond the limitation of what that amount of money is for you. You got to challenge your points of views. Okay, challenge it, look at it. What I recently said to someone, all right, it's $2,000 for a foundation class. I looked at going to Costa Rica to a yoga resort for a week, and it was more than $2,000 for a week. Now, you have to look at, what does choosing a foundation class create for my future? And then what does going to a yoga resort for a week create for my future? What choice creates more change for me? A flight to Europe right now from America is anything from $1,000 to $1,500 for one flight. So it's like, there is actually no sum of money that can equate the change you can receive from classes. But you keep making it about the money. So, and again, this is your way to stop you, to limit you, so you don't choose greater. You keep making it about the money, but it's not about the money. So a great question to ask is, if I wasn't making it about the money, what would I choose here? Would I choose this? There's so many things I start talking about and I say, oh, it's this much money. And then I stop and I go, wait 1 second. If it wasn't about the money, would I choose this? And sometimes it's no, I wouldn't. So it's not about the money, it's that I don't really want to choose this. So again, go back to tip number 1, be honest with yourself. And, someone said in the chat, you get judged for spending so much money on classes by other people. People have different priorities in life. I used this example about my brother years ago. He said to me about the price of access classes. And I looked at it and I said, you go to Austria skiing and you spend thousands of dollars going there and you come home with a hangover and a tan. And that's what's a priority to him. And that's what he values. He values that. That's not wrong. That's what he values. I don't value that. I value change. I value consciousness. So I'm willing to invest my money in change and consciousness. He's not. That's all the difference, different priorities. So stop looking at what other people find valuable and where other people choose to put their money and start looking at what's valuable to you. Do you value change? Do you desire to change? And everything that is, and everywhere you're looking to what other people find valuable, to find what is acceptable for you to spend your money on, can we destroy and upgrade it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, papak, only shirts, boys, poveds, and meons. So it's never about the money. It's always about what change am I avoiding here? When I am making something about the money, there's something I'm avoiding. Is there a change in this class that you are avoiding or resisting? if I choose this class, will I lose something that I don't want to lose? So you make it about the money, but really there's a change or something in this class that you will receive that you're avoiding. So what am I avoiding here? Usually the classes that I have resisted the most are usually the classes that have created the most change for me. So everywhere you resist change while claiming you desire to change, can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, papak, only shirts, boys, poveds, and meons. So if you find yourself making the money a big issue, ask, is there something here that I'm not willing to lose? That if I choose it, I will lose it. And a lot of the times we're not willing to lose our limitations. Like we love our limitations so much, we don't want to lose them. So what limitation with money would you lose if you actually allowed yourself to create the money for these classes? And everywhere you love your limitation with money more than you desire to lose your limitations with money, can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, back, pop, on his shirts, boys, poveds, and meons. Okay. Oh, number 5 was don't be vested in the outcome, which I think I already covered. So what I would say also with choosing classes is don't just choose it once, like keep choosing it. Like sometimes when it's a big class or there's a big change for you, like you have to like recommit to it. Like you can't just be like, okay, once to yourself, be like, I hope I can go to that class. Again, it's like really look at like, okay, am I really committed to this? Like, am I actually choosing this? And like, because sometimes you'll choose something and you will be all in, and then you'll get derailed, you get sidetracked, and then you'll start doubting yourself, and you'll start doubting if you're really going to go, and then you start doubting if the money's going to show up, and that's you, like you've like kind of give up on you've give up on your choice. So sometimes you have to like recommit, you have to like re-choose it. You have to like choose it again, you know? And that's also another piece is like, don't just wait for the money to show up in one lump sum. Sometimes that does happen for people, but other times you actually have to look at, if you're choosing something, like make payments along the way, you know? Like I know if I leave it all to last minute, it will create this panic in my world. And I don't like creating that way. So at the beginning, I kind of waited to last minute to create the money. But over time, I realized as I was choosing, when extra money would come in and I'd start creating more, I knew that it was my choice to choose that class that was allowing my life to become greater, that was allowing more clients to show up. And then that extra money that was showing up, even if it was a couple of hundred, I would start putting it away towards the class, or I would start paying off the class in payments before the class. So when it got to the time of the class, I was already pretty much paid. So what would make it ease for you? And if you ask for money for consciousness and it shows up for consciousness, use it for consciousness. So one last story, and then I think we're going to wrap it up. Dali said, budgeting for classes. I can't believe I didn't see that realization. I wouldn't call it budgeting. Budgeting has an interesting, heavy energy from this reality. I would just call it more like making it easy for yourself. Yeah, like just paying it off as you go. If you have, like, especially, so like, I'll take the example of, I'm walking to college one day at the very beginning, I just found Access. And I had the whole thing about the universe in my world, and the universe wanted me to become conscious. Like I knew it, like I could feel that was true. And I'm like, okay, universe, I really want to go to this bars class. It was €250. It was a beyond for me, a beyond. I thought the money was outrageous. I even thought maybe my friend was trying to scam me. Like I had all sorts of insanities going on in my head, but I knew I needed to go to this class. And I said, universe, I'm broke. I have no money. I'm in college. I don't even have a job. But I really get I require to be at this class. And if it creates greater, if you get that I need to be there, show me the money, like show me the way, like show me with ease how I can be there. And that's another thing. You don't always have to ask for the money. Ask, what would it take for me to be at this class with ease? And then literally a couple of weeks later, I got an award. It was a Student of the Year award. I didn't even know it was a thing. And I went to the award ceremony and I got a check for, I think it was 200 euros. It was close to the price of the class. And I knew in that moment it was the money for the class. And that's another thing. You know, when money comes in, you know it's when it's money towards the class that you've been asking for. And I knew, and I convinced myself not to do the class. And I went and bought an iPad. And 2 weeks later, the iPad broke. And that was my lesson. That was my awareness. When you ask for money for consciousness and it shows up, use it for consciousness. I end up not going to the bars class. I created the bars classes a couple of months later after resisting it for a while. But that really showed me, when you ask for money for consciousness, use it for consciousness. And if you're asking for more revenue streams and they come in, put it away and use it towards what you're asking for. So everything that is and everything that doesn't allow you to receive money for consciousness, to allow consciousness to support you, to allow the universe to have your back, and to trust you and trust the universe, can we destroy and uncreate these? Right, wrong, good, bad, pet, pock, all night shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Okay, guys. That is it. That is my 5 easy ways to create money for access classes, plus some extra information thrown in the middle. I hope that was a contribution to you. I know there was like lots of things in the chat. I'm sorry I couldn't get to it. I'm trying to keep this to like 30 minutes so that people in the future will watch it. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you got something out of this. If you have any questions, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and you're welcome to message me there. And I hope to see you in any of the classes you desire to be at, in any classes you're choosing. And you can use these tools for anything you're choosing. It doesn't have to be classes. So, all right, everyone. Bye for now. Okay, stop the recording.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you. And some of you were asking, you're so welcome. There will be a recording.
Thank you.
We're going to send out the replay in the next probably 24 hours. So check your emails, check your spam.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Thank you.
To apply my attention.
Okay, I'm just kind of also, if anyone is still on, like Circle's talking about creating money in 2 to 3 days, just take the need out of it. Like, what if you didn't need to do this class right away? If you don't create money for this class, there'll be other classes. You got to ask, is now the time too? Yeah, okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the translators.
Thanks, Amy. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks, Simone. It's so good to see you. You look
It's like I
gorgeous.
did the same steps. It's amazing.
Yeah. You mean it works?
It works. I started like me starting with Access. I didn't have even 20 euros to buy food. And like, I was like, choice creates what I need to choose. And then I need to fucking move my sweet ass.
Yeah, like it's so funny. I brought a packed lunch to my first foundation class. I didn't even have money for lunch. I was like, bring my lunch box. So I just do whatever it takes. Okay, guys. I don't know. There's a background noise. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye.